Imagine a car so compact it can slip down the narrowest alleys of Tokyo, yet powerful enough to challenge a century-old industry. And it's not made in Japan. What if a Chinese automaker could break through the fortress of Japan's beloved microcars and forever change what it means to own a car in the world's most urbanized cities? Today, we dive into a new front in the global EV war: BYD's bold assault on the heart of Japan's legendary K-car segment. This is more than just a story about a car. It's a glimpse into the future of urban mobility and a high-stakes collision of national pride, innovation, and billions in potential profits. But how did we reach this breaking point? To understand, we need to unravel why K-cars, those famously boxy, tiny vehicles dotting Japanese streets, hold such a stranglehold on the country's roads, and why their dominance is now, for the first time, truly under threat. Let's rewind. For decades, Japanese cities have faced a unique challenge: space. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, these are some of the most crowded urban landscapes on the planet. Car ownership here isn't just about status or thrill. It's about fitting neatly into a society where every square meter counts. Enter the K-car, a mini marvel, capped at just 3.4 meters in length and 660 cc of engine capacity. They skirt taxes, enjoy ultra-low insurance premiums, and for many families or young professionals, make the dream of personal mobility possible and affordable. Key cars are a phenomenon. Last year, the Honda N-Box outsold everything else in Japan, over 200,000 units, eclipsing even the mighty Toyota Corolla. These diminutive machines, easily parked, frugal on fuel, and loaded with clever storage, have become an almost subconscious symbol of Japanese efficiency. Even their name, K, short for Keijidosha, or light automobile, denotes not just size but an entire attitude toward the auto industry: pragmatic, user-friendly, and city-first. But here's the twist. Despite Japan's reputation for technological sophistication and the fact that it famously gave the world the Prius and hybridization, electric cars have struggled to find traction in the K segment. As of early 2025, electric K cars barely scrape 3% of the segment's sales. Why? Cost, range anxiety, infrastructure, and, let's be honest, consumer conservatism. Japanese drivers trust what's familiar, and for years, gas-powered K cars from brands like Honda, Suzuki, and Daihatsu weren't just familiar, they were invincible. Then something extraordinary happened. In 2023, Wang Chuanfu, CEO of BYD, a Chinese automaker once dismissed by Western rivals as a budget upstart, landed in Tokyo for a personal observation mission at the Japan Mobility Show. He wasn't just there to shake hands or snap pictures. According to TV Tokyo, Wang was scouting, researching, and plotting his company's next move. His goal? Crack open the most insular, fiercely defended pocket of the Japanese auto market. BYD's game plan is audacious. With global sales soaring, especially in Europe and China, and deep vertical integration of battery supply chains, BYD now sets its sights on Japan's K-car market, a segment worth billions, but notoriously hard to penetrate. Why is this a big deal? Because in a world racing towards electrification, Japan's microcar stronghold is among the last unconquered bastions. Let's bring the numbers into sharp focus. Only 2,223 BYD cars sold in Japan last year, most of them via models like the Atto 3, Seal, and Dolphin. Yet this tiny share was enough for BYD to outsell Toyota in the Japanese EV race. Toyota moved just 2,038 EVs domestically. Numbers still pale in the shadow of Honda's N-Box, of course, but think about the context. In the world's most risk-averse car market, a Chinese newcomer is now outselling Japan's top brand in its own backyard. That's not a blip, it's a warning shot. And the pressure is mounting on all sides. The Japanese government, alarmed by climate imperatives and electrification targets, is dangling generous subsidies, up to 550,000 yen, or roughly $3,500, per electric K car. Insurance is dirt cheap, just $190 a year. Maintenance is minimal. The incentives are aligning. There's a gaping opportunity, but also a giant question. Who will seize it first? Now let's zoom in on BYD's secret weapon: battery technology. The upcoming BYD K car is expected to employ the company's proprietary LFP blade batteries, praised for their safety, lifespan, and, most crucially for this market, cost efficiency. According to Li Ming of Sino Auto Insights, BYD's vertically integrated supply chain and mastery of battery technology provide an unparalleled cost advantage in the EV arena, a strategic weapon they can wield to conquer the price-sensitive K-car market. Translation: BYD can make electric microcars cheaper and possibly even more profitable than any Japanese rival. But, as every strategist knows, cost isn't everything in Japan. Here, trust, quality, and cultural fit are sacred. Kenichi Takamatsu, an economist at Mitsubishi UFJ Research and Consulting, puts it plainly. BYD's success hinges on its ability to meticulously adapt to the nuanced demands of Japanese consumers, particularly their unwavering expectations for safety, reliability, and space-efficient design. This raises a crucial issue. Japanese consumers are notorious for their loyalty to domestic brands, especially in the K space. The likes of Honda, Suzuki, and Daihatsu have spent decades honing not just engineering, but generations of goodwill. Sachiko Suzuki, a consumer behavior specialist, adds, "In the Japanese market, brand image and consumer trust are paramount. BYD must invest strategically in marketing and public relations to dispel any lingering negative perceptions associated with Chinese brands." It's not just a battle of technology then, but of hearts and minds. Yet in 2024, the game changed in a subtle but significant way. Daihatsu, one of the K-car heavyweights, was rocked by a safety testing scandal, leading to a widespread production suspension. In an instant, a pillar of the market wobbled. For the first time in decades, buyers looked around for alternatives, and BYD, with its global credibility in EVs, sensed an opening. BYD's strategy is twofold. First, engineer a K-car that fits the exacting Japanese regulations: ultra-compact, affordable, safe, and above all, electric. Second, build the infrastructure and trust to support it. On the ground, BYD is already joining forces with Japanese partners to expand fast-charging networks, a crucial move given anxieties about EV range. According to Nikkei Asia, these collaborations are early but vital steps toward making electric K-cars practical, not just aspirational. At the same time, the government's ambitious pledge to phase out new gasoline-powered cars by the mid-2030s looms large, adding urgency for both domestic and foreign brands to accelerate their EV rollouts. The writing is on the wall. Those who can electrify and localize the K-car will own the next decade of Japanese mobility. Yet this is not just a local skirmish. The K concept resonates far beyond Japan. In Europe, urban mobility experiments like the Renault Twizy and Citroën Ami signal a growing appetite for tiny, efficient EVs. If BYD succeeds in Japan, it could export both the model and the manufacturing know-how across the globe, reshaping mobility in every city where space and emissions matter. But for now, the real contest is just beginning. The obstacles ahead for BYD are formidable. Japanese automakers, far from standing idle, are ramping up their own EV programs, forging alliances, and leveraging decades of brand loyalty. Akio Toyoda, chairman of Toyota, strikes a note of cautious pride. While we embrace healthy competition in the EV sector, Japanese automakers possess an intimate understanding of local customer preferences that will prove challenging for foreign entrants to replicate. Will BYD's blitz of innovation, pricing, and battery mastery be enough to convince Japanese buyers to switch loyalties? Or will the deep roots of trust and tradition prove too strong to dig up? The stakes couldn't be higher. The outcome will shape not just the K segment, but the trajectory of city cars worldwide. Right now, a camouflaged BYD microcar is rolling through secret test circuits in Japan. Photos leak online, sparking debates among auto enthusiasts and industry veterans alike. Some see the future, others see a flash in the pan. Reddit user Needle1 captures the sentiment. BYD's willingness to allocate significant resources to engineer a K-car specifically tailored for the Japanese market underscores a profound commitment to long-term growth within the region. If BYD succeeds, expect a domino effect, from price wars that make EVs affordable for millions, to a shakeup in the global hierarchy of automakers. But if it stumbles, Japan's homegrown giants will only tighten their grip on this vital market, slowing the march toward urban electrification for years to come. So as the first BYD microcars quietly prowl Japan's city streets, the question hangs in the air. Is this the dawn of a new era, or will history repeat itself, with the legendary K-car dynasty defending its throne? In the next part, we'll dive even deeper. How are Japanese automakers preparing to fight back? What unique cultural and regulatory obstacles could trip up BYD? And what are the global implications if this high-stakes gamble pays off? Let's zoom forward. Imagine the whir of possibility that's now echoing through the heart of Japan's beloved K-car market. BYD's camouflaged prototypes have already sparked conversations in Tokyo coffee shops and automaker boardrooms alike. The question on everyone's mind goes beyond whether BYD can simply sell cars in Japan. The real suspense is whether they'll flip the table on an entire industry beloved for its stability, reliability, and uniquely Japanese soul. Let's unpack what happens next. First, the market itself is at a crossroads. Right now, electric K cars account for only a slim 3% of total K sales, but the tides are shifting. Government incentives, up to $3,500 off, are irresistible lures for price-conscious buyers, especially the young and urbanites living with sky-high parking fees. Add in lower insurance premiums, sometimes half the cost for a typical sedan, and you see why the appeal is growing. But this is more than a numbers game. It's a psychological battleground. Japanese buyers aren't just purchasing mobility, they're buying trust, cultural pride, and decades of reliability. Akio Toyoda, chairman of Toyota, didn't mince words. Japanese automakers possess an intimate understanding of local customer preferences that will prove challenging for foreign entrants to replicate. Yet the allure of BYD's new models, low price, futuristic screens, compact design, has caught the imagination of the young, the eco-minded, and those seeking a fresh alternative. There's another layer: national identity. Japanese K cars are icons, symbols of engineering minimalism and everyday utility. For BYD, overcoming the perception of being a Chinese outsider is a Herculean task. Consumer specialist Sachiko Suzuki puts it bluntly: brand image and trust are paramount. BYD must invest strategically in marketing and public relations to dispel any lingering negative perceptions associated with Chinese brands. But what if BYD pulls it off? Let's map out some future scenarios. The stakes are higher than they seem. The first outcome: BYD's entry causes a market shockwave. Thanks to its mastery of battery tech and a vertically integrated supply chain, BYD starts a price war, forcing Honda, Suzuki, and Daihatsu to accelerate their EV projects. Younger buyers, seeing a new, hip alternative, flock to BYD showrooms. Traditional brands scramble to cut costs or risk losing their edge. Cities like Osaka and Nagoya start seeing BYD-branded charging stations pop up in 7-Eleven parking lots. The entire Japanese automotive landscape pivots, fast. Second scenario: the domestic giants fight back with a vengeance. Recognizing the threat, they double down on localization, squeeze suppliers for better deals, and unleash advertising campaigns tapping into Japanese nostalgia and trust. Collaborations with tech firms like Sony or Panasonic emerge overnight, turbocharging battery R&D. BYD is forced to play catch-up, and its growth stalls as more consumers think twice about a foreign brand. And then, a wild card. What if neither side lands a knockout blow? Perhaps BYD secures a niche, a respected, if not dominant player, catering to a segment of progressive, price-sensitive urbanites. Meanwhile, the domestic titans retain their cultural cachet, but are forced to innovate faster than ever before. But here's where it gets really interesting: the global ripple effect. If BYD can unlock the code to the Japanese K-car segment, arguably the world's most demanding small car market, doors open everywhere. The same ultra-compact EVs could sweep through Europe's microcar scene. Think Parisian alleyways or London's congestion charges. Right-hand drive markets like the UK, Australia, and Singapore suddenly become ripe for BYD's affordable, city-focused models. James Chow at IHS Markit said it best: the K-car segment is ripe for disruption, and BYD's calculated entry has the potential to catalyze EV adoption among younger demographics and urban dwellers in Japan. That's the domino effect automakers everywhere are watching closely. So what does all of this mean for you, the viewers, whether you're in Tokyo, Toronto, or Turin? First, for car buyers, more competition equals more choices. Prices could fall. Features like advanced safety tech, once reserved for high-end imports, may soon be standard even in the humblest city cars. If you've ever put off buying an EV due to cost or charging anxiety, the next 2 years may bring a tidal wave of affordable, practical options to your local dealership, even if you don't live in Japan. Second, for those curious about the bigger picture, this battle is about more than cars. It's a test case for how legacy industries adapt, or falter, in the face of relentless innovation from ambitious outsiders? Will the nimble disrupt the traditional? Will tech-savvy global upstarts reshape our neighborhoods and commutes? For entrepreneurs and policymakers, Japan's story offers a playbook. Smart incentives, like those government subsidies, can spark market transformation. Infrastructure matters. Collaboration between BYD and local utility giants to expand charging networks is proof positive. And cultural empathy isn't just a buzzword, it's key to unlocking loyal hearts and wallets. If you're an investor or auto industry insider, there's a deeper lesson. BYD's Blitz isn't just about launching another car, it's about controlling the value chain, owning the batteries, tech, and supply lines. That's where future margins and power will be. The question isn't just who builds the best microcar, but who can deliver it fastest, cheapest, and most reliably anywhere in the world. There's also a message about brand and trust. As Kenichi Takamatsu of Mitsubishi UFJ Research warned, BYD's success hinges on its ability to meticulously adapt to the nuanced demands of Japanese consumers, particularly their unwavering expectations for safety, reliability, and space-efficient design. The same goes for any company eyeing new markets. Local adaptation is non-negotiable. But now, let's address the central intrigue. Will BYD triumph in Japan or hit a wall of tradition and skepticism? Based on current trends, BYD's odds look better than many predicted just 2 years ago. Their Seal EV is already Japan's top-selling imported electric car, besting even Tesla in certain months. With the domestic chaos brought on by Daihatsu's safety scandal and the government's clear EV roadmap, BYD's timing is pitch perfect. Add to that the generational shift among Japanese consumers, a quiet rebellion from the young and urban against the old guard, and you start to see a path for BYD to carve out real market share. But let's not underestimate the power of cultural inertia. For many Japanese, trust in Honda, Suzuki, and Toyota is generational, passed down like a family recipe. BYD's real victory won't be in outpricing or out-teching the competition alone, but in earning the quiet trust of a population that values humility, reliability, and harmony over hype. That could take years, or even a decade. And globally? Here's the secret fact most people overlook. The K-car isn't just a Japanese phenomenon. The very vehicle BYD is fine-tuning for Japan's backstreets could be the template for affordable, green mobility all over the world. From Europe's ancient town centers to the bustling cities of Southeast Asia, the micro-EV wave is just getting started, and BYD is angling to be its champion. In some ways, the prize isn't just Japan, but the entire urban world. So what do we take from this showdown? The battle in Japan's K-car segment isn't just a local squabble. It's a high-stakes experiment, testing whether innovation, smart policy, and cultural understanding can rewrite the rules of a proud, tradition-bound marketplace. BYD's boldness is forcing open doors, and whether they break in or simply wedge a foot inside, the world is watching and learning. The next time you see a micro-EV zipping silently by, remember, the revolution often starts in the smallest, least expected places. Will BYD become the new face of Japanese mobility, or will tradition prevail? The answer isn't fixed, but one thing is certain: the race is on, and there's no going back. If you found this exploration eye-opening, hit subscribe, because the future of mobility will be written by bold moves like this. What do you think? Would you trust an upstart foreign EV, or stick with the brands your family has driven for decades? Drop your opinions in the comments below. We'll feature the best in our next episode.